A teenage girl sat trapped in a house that looked perfectly normal, but every pill she swallowed was slowly destroying her body. And the worst part? The person doing it was her own mother. My name is Jessica Moore, and welcome to Jessica Recaps. Today, we're diving into Run, a story where love turns into control, and control turns into something far more terrifying. The story began in a hospital where doctors fought to save a premature baby. Machines beeped, nurses rushed. We met Chloe, a teenage girl living a quiet life in a house far from the city. But Chloe wasn't like other kids. She suffered from multiple serious conditions: diabetes, asthma, paralysis. Her life depended on strict routines, medication, and constant care. And that care came entirely from her mother, Diane. At first, everything seemed normal. Diane homeschooled her, and slowly, suspicion began to grow. One day, Chloe noticed something strange. While her mother was distracted, she peeked into a grocery bag and found a bottle of green pills labeled with Diane's name. That didn't make sense. That night, Diane gave Chloe her usual medication, including that same green pill. Chloe questioned it, but Diane calmly brushed it off, claiming it was just labeled incorrectly. Still, something didn't feel right. So the next day, Chloe took a closer look. She peeled off the label on the pill bottle, and underneath it, she saw her mother's name again. Now she knew something was being hidden. That night, instead of swallowing the pill, Chloe secretly kept it. And what she discovered next changed everything. She tried to search the medicine online, but the internet mysteriously stopped working. That alone was suspicious. But Chloe didn't give up. The next day, she called random strangers, asking them to look up the drug name, Trigicin. The answer came back quickly. Yes, Trigicin was real, but it was supposed to be a red pill, not green. That was the moment Chloe realized her mother had been lying, and things were about to get worse. Determined to uncover the truth, Chloe convinced her mom to take her to a movie theater. But she had a plan. She slipped away and rushed to a nearby pharmacy. There, she showed the pharmacist the green pill, and what he said shattered her world. It wasn't Trigicin. It was a drug called Ridacaine, a medication used for dogs. And in humans, it caused paralysis. Chloe froze. Everything suddenly made sense. Her illnesses, her condition, her entire life. It wasn't natural. It was being done to her, by her own mother. But before she could react, Diane appeared. Panicked, desperate, she injected Chloe with a sedative. Everything went black. When Chloe woke, she was back home, locked in her room. Now it was clear. Her mother wasn't just controlling her, she was imprisoning her. But Chloe wasn't helpless. Using her intelligence, she found a way to escape. She climbed out the window, crawled across the roof, and broke into another room using nothing but heat, water, and pure determination. It was tense, dangerous. Her asthma kicked in. She couldn't breathe, and her inhaler was across the room. Every second felt like her last. But somehow, she made it. Gasping, shaking, barely alive. And now she knew she had to escape. She rushed to the elevator, but it was broken, sabotaged, by her mother. With no other choice, Chloe dragged herself down the stairs. And then something unbelievable happened. She moved her toes for the first time. That was the proof. She wasn't truly paralyzed. The drugs had been doing this to her all along. Now there was no doubt. Her mother wasn't protecting her. She was controlling her. Chloe finally made it outside and flagged down a passing mailman. Desperate, she begged for help. But before they could leave, Diane showed up. Tension exploded. The mailman tried to protect Chloe, but Diane wasn't backing down. She pretended to cooperate, then suddenly attacked, injecting the mailman, kidnapping Chloe again. And just like that, Chloe was back in captivity, this time in the basement, chained, alone, and surrounded by terrifying truths. There, Chloe discovered hidden documents, her college acceptance letter, the one she never received, photos of her as a healthy child, and then the final piece, a death certificate for a baby named Chloe who died shortly after birth, and a news report about a baby kidnapped from the same hospital at the same time. That's when it hit her. She wasn't Diane's daughter. She was stolen. Diane's real baby had died. When Diane returned, she didn't deny it. She admitted everything. She said she did it because she loved Chloe, because she needed her, because she couldn't live without her. But Chloe refused to accept that twisted version of love. And that's when Diane snapped. She prepared another injection, something stronger, something final. Cornered and terrified, Chloe made a shocking decision. She grabbed a bottle of poison and drank it. If she was going to die, it would be on her terms. Diane screamed, breaking down as Chloe collapsed. Chloe was rushed to the hospital, barely alive, but somehow she survived. Weak, unable to speak, but alive. And Diane? She wasn't done yet. In a final desperate move, Diane caused a hospital emergency, creating chaos. Then she slipped into Chloe's room, disconnected her equipment, and tried to take her away. But Chloe wasn't the same girl anymore. As they reached the exit, Chloe did something incredible. She used her legs just enough to stop the wheelchair, to resist, to fight back. Security arrived. Diane pulled a gun. Everything froze. And in one final moment, she was shot. Chloe was saved, and Diane was finally stopped. 7 years later, Chloe had rebuilt her life. She could walk again, slowly but surely. She reunited with her real family. She went to college. She finally lived the life that was stolen from her. But the story didn't end there, because Chloe visited Diane, now locked away in a mental institution. They sat across from each other, silent. Then Chloe smiled. She said, "I love you, Mom," and pulled out a green pill, the same kind Diane used on her for years. If you enjoyed this recap, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And if you're ready for another wild story, check out my next video, 10-year-old boy having Hitler as his imaginary friend. Trust me, you don't want to miss that. Thanks for watching.